it's funny you said that because one of my questions I want to ask you is on my paper. It said, how did you make the transition? Because when I look back at you on HBO Def Jam, I think you got a Arex leather coat on. You got the braids in your hair. You fresh off the block. You fresh off the block, bro.
I had a block mentality still.
Yeah.
And
your energy says it. Your energy suggests it.
I was closer to you know what I'm saying? I didn't even realize that now until you just said that. But I was in corporate America, but just hiding in plain sight. And then trying to let the people, I'm a square. I'm trying to fit in. I'm a square. And I've met some cool people at that job. And it let me know that me being a square is cool. And not being a square, but I mean just being regular. I ain't had to put sometimes when you grow up in these hard places, you take that hard with you. Like, that's why I really couldn't mix it. Taking me to Houston wasn't really a good fit sometimes. So I never moved down there because I was like, it was just a little bit slower than what I wanted to be in Detroit was. And more so, I was used to it. You know how it is, like you playing PlayStation, then you get on the Xbox.
Yeah.
Kind of same,
but it's different.
Yeah. So the same thing with religion. It's the same message, different methods.
Yeah.
So I can't get mad with your method. You do what you do.
It just don't fit me.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And so, and that's how the whole, even with poetry, all poets, you're not going to like all poets, but definitely find you something to fixate on. So you can find inspiration and a benchmark because they were trailblazers, so you can be pathfinders.
Let me ask you this, because while we was talking, this popped in my mind. Do you think that some people are scared to go to poetry events because it make them dig within themselves? Because when you go to poetry events, you're going to hear some shit that's going to question your thought process, question what you think about life, questions that you think about religion, and all type of shit. What you eat.
Right. And I think in this society, I think the shit that keeps people away from poetry is long-winded, untalented motherfuckers.
That's it. That part.
Because it's an on-demand society. I fuck with what I fuck with. If I don't, I don't.
Right.
Shit. You got Netflix on your phone. So, here's the thing. You got people with, you have taste and everything. But you got to understand, like, we are a late-spirited culture sometimes. So if we don't train the people how to come see it, and you have to be concise. And most times we like the blob. We're all over. This is this. We don't structure that. Rigid. So sometimes when we're rigid, we kind of, that's that human doing. Now the human being, hey, let's go with the flow. Create the vibe, and then you can go with the flow. But when your vibe ain't created, what flow are you making? Right. Ain't no feng shui in that shit because you don't know who's what. You don't know what pieces go together. This shit Tetris right now. And when you build up, it's like, oh shit, I had all the pieces, I just didn't put them in the right places.
Most definitely.
So you take your time, put them in the right places. Then you come back out. You know what I'm saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Once you realize that, that's how me taking this poetry to another level became, it became the business. Like you really want to make sure that, okay, I want to do this like nobody else in Revelations. That's it. We experiencing Revelations right now. I'm going to write like nobody else. We writing our third testament today. We'll talk about the great pandemic. You feel me?
Most definitely.
Like some people want to be famous, but they're going to round up being famous or infamous.
I don't want to be famous.
I
want my work to be famous.
Right.
But I don't want to be famous.
Here's the thing. What you do with your 15 minutes is what you're going to do with your 15 minutes. You can use it as an opportunity. You can use it as, I don't want it on me, but it's your 15. Yeah. You do what you want to do with it.
I don't want to be famous, but at the same time, I also know you can't go against what's before you.
Yeah. You got to walk in your light.
You got to do what you're supposed to do regardless. Even if you might not want it. If it's meant for you to do it.
If I was you, I would get into voiceovers because you just got that voice.
I appreciate that. You know what's funny? An old lady, when I was at CVS one day, I said, how you doing, ma'am? This lady was like, old white lady. She was like, hey, you should be doing something with your voice. I was like, I do poetry. She was like, oh, for real? I was like, yeah, say it on my card.
And so here's the thing. So even when I see this, I'm already knowing the people that I can send you to. And so that's what we got to get. We got to get to that network. Once that network, we get it together, we like, okay, voiceovers. Let's see, what if we did our own little, you know what I'm saying, put together something.
Yeah, you talking about going to the fucking next level. That's the only thing in my head.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if you remember this. Like, every time I told you, I said, yo, I'm here to try to fix it, help this shit. That's my only... I ain't one of the ones who's going to fix this shit by myself, but I want to be one of the ones. When it's said and done, yo, Milk put a brick in the poetry to try to help us get up. I ain't here to just take from the culture.
Already.
I'm not here for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, we, not me, we got to help this shit up, bro, because this shit should be in every fucking household, bro.
And here's the thing, it will... All we have to do is just make sure we keep watering that plant.
I agree.
We just got to water
the ones who's supposed to hit will hit.
And we can't worry about who don't, who will.
Yeah. That's one of the lessons I learned when I used to do shows and people would text me like...
Now with this,
yeah,
you can't tell... You ain't going to get that instant gratification. So you got to sit within yourself.
Most definitely.
And so here's where the true talent going to come in. When you start hearing that shit you've been telling everybody. And then it's like, damn, do I believe it? Did I write this? You know, is this me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you. It's you in a room with no instant validation. So imagine if you being, like, comedy is absolute. Your ass either funny or you don't make me laugh. And I'm not clapping if you don't make me laugh.
Most definitely.
So, poetry. I would say you're not a poet till somebody feel you.
Yeah, I agree.
You ain't a poet till somebody feel you. It's like Braille.
I agree.
That's a poet right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a different feeling between somebody. It's times when people tell me like, oh, I like this stuff. Can I follow you? And then it's a difference when I felt people start. When I start changing my poetry, people come to me and shake my hand, look me in the eyes and say, thank you. That's a different feeling. You feel like a responsibility over you there like, oh, shit.
Right.
I got to be on point with everything I do.
And the thing about it is you just, love people, man. You can't lead them if you don't love them.
Most definitely.
If you expect to lead them, you gotta love them.
Most definitely. And you gotta like the ugly in them too.
Yeah,
that's the other part. And
that's the whole thing about, like, I think Georgia Me is probably the best example of that. You know what I'm saying? She will look for the maximum out the minimum. And to me, I was like, I'm only gonna be at Big Lots for this long. I ain't fucking around. You know what I'm saying? But but they call me the Care Bear because I try to be the Martin Luther King of it. I don't want beef with you. This all lunch meat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want none of the Five Guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We straight. I don't want poetry, beef.
For me, my show was like, what the fucking look like beef on the poor? I used to beef in the streets. I used to have to worry about motherfuckers outside your house.
Trying to fit in. Like, look, I'll be a square so you don't see the real dude. Like,
right.
I'm zen. I'm glad I found other stuff to just do with, negative energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So once you realize that, you're like, oh, damn. Your strength is in being recluse.
Yeah.
You win. You won that. I'm straight. And see, this is old man talking.
Yeah.
When I was young, it was the opposite. That's why I said the dude you seen on that poetry, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
He
I know. But I also feel like to get to the level you at now, you had to beat that person. You had to beat you to become... He's still in there dormant. Mm-hmm. And he will come out to protect himself. Same thing with me.
I mean, it's survival tactics. Like the thing about it is we've never thrived.
Mm-hmm.
We've always survived until we change our way of thinking. So when you start picking up books change the way you think. We did the Behold the Pale Horse. So I was reading about this shit in the 90s. What we going through now.
Speaking of books, what's some good books you would tell people to read?
Definitely As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Mm-hmm. And I would say The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz.
Yeah. And
The Four Agreements is one of those ones where I think I'll just share one passage. It would tell you don't take nothing personal. If you don't take anything personal, that'll change the whole way of life. It's your ego that makes you think people do things because of you.
Most definitely.
And once you realize that, you're like, oh shit, it ain't me. So when you hear older people say it like, oh, spiritual wickedness is on high, it's not on this lower level, it's on high, And so you were like, the battle's not in the flesh. You're like, oh, it's in the spirit? Yeah. So when you out here, people send their representative. You feel their representative before you feel the actual them.
Right.
You feel me?
Most definitely.
That's why when you like, yo, you picking up vibe, like, yo, I'm about to get the fuck out of here. Like,
Yeah.
you can tell when the static about to come.
Yeah.
And you from B-more.
Yeah.
And I think I went to B-more. I went out to where the little crab place. There's two old ladies on a Sunday about to get to fighting. Like, they sound like they had pistols, but these was two grandmas about some crabs. I mean, about to duke it out, and I'm looking like something's wrong with the world.
Ironic. Two crabs fighting over crabs.
Oh my God. Crabs in the bucket.
Yeah.
Starting to feel like Papa though.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But definitely, like I said, I've been blessed to move the walk and to have have an opinion. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what's funny? Having an opinion is different. Is you gotta have strength to do that because it ain't for the weak.
That's why I drove myself to all my gigs, the most of them. Like, so you can't. I done earned my little trucker mileage. I done got my therapeutic, drive on. You know what I'm saying? Just, but you got people that have been in the game for so long. Some stay, some leave. You've seen a lot of colorful people. I wouldn't change a thing.
How long you been in the game doing how long you been in the game as far as doing poetry?
Since 1996, 97.
Cause I hear stories, I'm from Baltimore, right? And a lot of times people talk about it's a place in Baltimore called Hammerjacks. It's a club.
Oh yeah.
Right? And I used to go to the old Hammerjacks and I went to the new Hammerjacks, but they say they ready to open a newer Hammerjacks. And we all know who's been there, it'll never be like it was.
Oh no.
So you been here when Atlanta, before the poetry scene was thriving, make us understand what you had to do, you, Georgia, me, and some of the other people had to do to build this infrastructure here.
One, it was like this. I was at GE Capital. No, I was in Jacksonville, Florida. Had just did the Erykah Badu listening party for Baduism with these cats down there. The Positive Third. It was Marlon Livers and Al Letson. And Al Letson is a slam great amongst other things. This was like my mentor in the sense of he brought me in the game and I kind of watched him and I was looking at slam. I never really wanted to be a slam artist, but this was the way of poetry that I was told that you would have to, in order to make money, you got to go to slam so you can win the prizes. And then I'm looking like, well, what we do when we're not slamming? And it ain't no prizes. So, make it a long story tolerable.
No. Can I say something before you go forward? It's dope that's one of the things I feel like poets miss, seeing the whole spectrum, not just seeing just one thing. And for you to have the thought process to say, well, what happens when I'm not slamming? I think that's genius. Cole, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, word. So I'm wondering what's happening when you're not doing this. So Jessica Care Moore came down. Her and this other brother named Akil Thomas, they had this spot called 227 Mitchell Street, right downtown. It was More Black Press, and we used to call it More Epics. It was More Black Press and Underground Epics, and they combined, so we called it More Epics. So MOOR, and it was Jessica Care Moore's name, so it was a play on words. So it was real community based, the whole thing. We had slam teams, but the slam team was more so we had to go on our distant relatives, their turf. I think Cola Run would be over there. There's a white spot called Blue Milk. And Blue Milk was dope. And then you had, probably Kodak Harrison in Decatur. But it wasn't really it wasn't any black spots. Like I wouldn't even say black spots. It just wasn't any slam teams where the black people got a team in a sense. Though we never had a black team represented. We took 13 people to Seattle on a hustle, on a poetry hustle, which was crazy. The poetry hustle was the craziest. So when I got down here, I met Georgia Me at 112. We in competition. So we kind of meeting up like the super friends and shit. So we just hanging out on some Marvel shit. Like, what's up? So I was like, yo, I'm coming to win my money. You know, I'm talking shit. Ryan Cameron hosting it. So it's poets, singers, it's all of this. So I'm in there telling Georgia, I was like, yeah, I'm about to, I ain't telling Georgia, I'm talking to Georgia friend. Georgia friend hear me talking shit. Georgia's in the car smoking or whatever. And she pre-gaming before she get in there. So I'm talking shit. I done walked around. I'm like, I done sized up the spot. I'm coming in there confident as hell.
Right.
Get my money. Let me see. I want the wings, lemon pepper fried hard. I'm talking shit, talking mad shit. So I went up in there. I did good. You know, I had a lot of claps. So everything was cool. Man, Georgia Me got up there.
Bodied it.
Not even body. Nigga in the intro. Zone 1. I was up in that bitch, nigga. I felt like
cancel the wings.
Maximus. I was like, oh shit, I was like, damn, I got them shits fried hard. I'm coming out the pocket. Coming out the pocket tonight. She don't want up in that body bag, that shit. So me, I'm looking like, hey, I'm looking for some motherfuckers to hang out with. Yo, what you doing? Hey, check it out. I got this slam thing. Yo, why don't you come over here? Boom. So I told them to come on certain days. I couldn't put everybody that I thought was good on a team. So what I had to do is get everybody to come on a week that they would win. And I wound up putting together one of the dopest damn slams, me and Cocktails. So we were the Live Poet Society. So when you seen these names, it was 20 names. Everybody naming the same. It was Cola Rum, John Good, Georgia Me, Bonnie, Johannes, Malik Salam. Like a lot of the names of these people, Alexis, she was like youngest. And my thing is, I was still influencing the young people then. We took a 17-year-old, we kept getting the shitty bouts because we had an underage artist. And her mom let me take her all the way to Seattle.
That's dope.
You feel what I'm saying? It's a responsibility and shit that was coming on early on. Right. So I always knew to be a voice to these children, to these kids. So when we took her daughter out here, and man, we out in Seattle for like 7 days. And you don't know how racist Seattle is till your ass got braids and a jersey on.
Get the rope.
Bruh, nah. You talking get the walking, damn it. The cabs ain't stopping.
Oh shit.
Yo, dude, it felt like being like how they be showing them Africans getting treated in these other countries. It felt like that shit. But I ain't gonna lie. Nigga was fit as shit when he got back. Like, you know.
That's that Navy shit. That Navy got you walking them 20 miles, so you cool with that.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
but the heels was they wasn't nothing to play with.
Most definitely.
So, but you know, just being out there, you know, and we all just start meeting each other. And I wound up, one of my homeboys, how I even got down here is with the comedians. My homeboy, he hooked me up with a link with Joyce Littell. Georgia had already been on the radio with Joyce Littell and Hank Stewart. Mm-hmm. So when I got with Joyce Littell, she was doing something on Thursdays, Nikki Night Thursdays on V103. So she had the airwaves.
Right.
So when I met her at one of these for Sisters Only, we came out there and body bagged that joint. She said, hey, I want to do a slam. I got you. Boom. So now we just galvanizing the poets. Now we don't put it together like the Super Friends. My thing is, I was like, I want to make sure that poets get represented. Make sure we get bread. We get some money some kind of way. Because right now we doing this shit for free. And that's cool for the free time. Right. But not now. We need to get paid as well. So we started working and, you know, galvanizing the spirit of what we were doing. You had a lot of poets that would hate you. I won't name their names on camera.
Right.
But
why? You don't have to say their names, but why would they hate you?
Because we was more Booker T and they was more W.E.
Yeah, but it's still poetry.
Yeah, but they were more Malcolm and we was more Mark. You feel what I'm saying?
I want to make sure I convey it. What you're saying, I get it. What I'm saying for my thought process.
But see, you more on the Malcolm side with us.
Okay.
So Martin got what Malcolm was saying too, but you got to realize.
But the thing is, it's like if Malcolm and Martin work together, it'd be so much more. We can get so much further.
But you gotta understand, somebody either in Martin or Malcolm's ear
saying don't fuck with that.
Don't fuck with him.
Yeah. I get you.
Same shit, different toilet. We.
I'm sorry, I ain't trying to stop the story. Finish telling me.
Damn, what was I saying? Right.
That's Milk cutting your ass off. I apologize, bro. You was telling me, she said she wanted to start a slam, you want to get the money.
Right.
Okay.
So, Joyce put together like a slam, and we all went out there, and we was all in full regalia of who you was. Like how you said, you was that street dude on the thing. Yeah. When I went to this would be for Deaf Poetry. All that hair was hot curl.
Right.
So when I came in there, I was looking like the Mac with the Matrix coat on.
Right. Max Julie on it.
With a turtleneck on and shit. So the next like, yo, what they call me, DJ Quick. Yo, who this pimp right here? So he's like, nah, he from Detroit. You know, I used to have finger waves in the Navy. Right. So the thing about it is, I've always been Detroit. No matter
where you at,
you know what I'm saying. I'm the mitten, right. No matter where I'm spitting. Right. You know what I'm saying. It's period, and we all was ourselves. So when that slam came, Georgia Me had this big ass hat on. Had to been like a 10 gallon, like this small, like a lime green.
Right.
So we in here like, now mind you, the whole time we doing these slams. Ain't nobody in these motherfuckers. There's this many people in that bitch. The Bluetooth series. Right. Catch it. So we in here mad alone together. So when the finals came, man, there was like 150 people up in this little bitty ass spot. Like everybody sitting on the ground. Nobody give a damn. Ain't no chair in there. You know, and like it's a sea of like, dog, this is the dopest shit I've ever seen at this moment. Right. And I'm looking like it was just a sea of spirited, and you watching poetry on a damn stage with some bricks, cinder blocks, and some wood with lights and candle tea lights up under it, because we made the best of nothing. And
that's what it's about.
And we dug up out of it. That's why I say, dog, don't be like we even this small room. You feel what I'm saying? The spirit that's in here. So we looking at all of this stuff on here, man. And then that night, like you watching, like I think Cola, like it was so much shit talking. John Good and Autumn was in the contest. And here's the thing, and you know, like I thought John, Cola, like they was gonna be hell problems. John got a time penalty.
Oh, it's nice.
So that took him out of the damn first round. We like, oh shit. Like he had a good score. But the time penalty, boom, shit got chopped. Cola, as soon as that, he fucked up, as soon as he got out the gate, like, it's like imagine the nigga on the block. This is the 440. On your mark. Bah! Like, oh shit.
He probably mad as shit at himself, probably.
Dog, I was like, yo, and I think that was like the craziest thing. Like you never knew, you didn't know what was gonna happen. And so we had another young cat that Don Carlos, Sugar Tongue Slim. He was up in Philly for a little bit. He was doing some shit with Black Thought and the Roots, and his name's Sugar Tongue Slim. He dope as hell. So he was one of the youngest. He ain't even have an ID. He caught the bus from Philly to Seattle.
Damn.
Took Philly to Seattle. We took plane tickets, but we got everybody there, right? Mm-hmm. This nigga's so dope. We in a damn place. We was out in Seattle, and we kept asking, like, you know, they was like, y'all from Atlanta? Do y'all know the Micronauts? It was like, the Micronauts? No, I don't know who is that. Everywhere we went, as soon as they like, oh, y'all from Atlanta? Because they know the braids and the jerseys. They was like, oh, y'all from Atlanta? Hey, y'all know the Micronauts? I was like, who the fuck is the Micronauts? So we had to go see these people. They from Atlanta. They had what you call a public rehearsal. All right. Don Carlos ain't got his ID. He's 17 anyway. So it's good you don't have your ID so they can really see you underage. He tall. He taller than me, but he still look like a kid. All right. He walks in there. Dude was like, I need your ID. So Don Carlos, he's standout. He had the big ass afro, light skinned dude. You knew him in Seattle. So he looking at the dude. He's like, no, you're going to have to wait outside. So it's a mailbox. Don Carlos is sitting up on the mailbox for like 15 minutes or so. Dude came out, so he just looking around. It's almost like playing one of them games where you're trying to get by the guard.
Right.
So I slip him in there, right? So we up in here, they doing the public rehearsal. So they was like, yo, anybody can freestyle, da-da-da-da-da. Man, he went up there and killed that shit to the point to where he was bringing the crowd around, including the security guard.
Oh, shit.
He let dude finish. He's like, yo, that's dope as shit. Now get outside. And when that was like our take to, because I was just telling him, because we was on the Guinness Book of World Records with the longest open mic.
Oh, that's dope.
It was out there. They was running that shit ran for like a week, like almost like 5 days. And they were at a 24-hour, like a Waffle House type joint. And they just kept the mic open, and you come in there and spit. You know how you as a poet, you go to the Waffle House right after you get done. We over here eating this food, go spit a poem, go eat some more, spit a poem, leave. Then you know you part of the history. You know what I'm saying? This was all part of that slam thing. I'm looking at it like it's something else. And I remember feeling a kind of way, and I ain't mean to get long-winded with this.
No, you good, bro.
But
it's your time.
We went out there and they had a Slam Master Slam. So I didn't realize, like, being a Slam Master, I wasn't going to have an opportunity to perform. So I had to let go of my shit, like wanting to perform, and let my team perform. You feel me? So this is how we submitted our Def Poetry tape. When we left that Slam, we came back and submitted our Def Poetry tape as the Slam Master. I was first on there on the tape. The shit was like a Blair Witch. Like me talking over the lamp. That's how we submitted the tape. I was first and Georgia was last. That's how we know they looked at the whole tape. Because we both got picked up off that tape. Hence.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
And that's when you're not knowing, but yet you know you need to link. So since then, shit, me and Georgia, we done did movies. We done did some of everything. You know what I'm saying? She's going on like hell. When she was popping in New York, I was bringing people like the Underground Railroad up to New York. And I would use her apartment in Brooklyn as my launch pad. And I was around there Peter Panning, Bieber Lines, Bieber Bus Line. Half the people don't know what Bieber Bus Lines is. I did all of upstate New York, all of upstate Pennsylvania. It ain't shit I didn't touch. I made what I was making in a month. That's a year's salary in a month.
Oh, shit. That's good luck.
You feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
And that, and then you had, I was the precursor before you have a Asia Sampson. Asia getting it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you don't, like I said, we've been out here a long time, and the longevity is definitely something to be not taken lightly. But definitely we know that it ain't us. It's something greater than us. And that's why we always strive to make sure that things are better than for people when I leave here than it was when I got here.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to know something happened. And if you don't know, we need to let you know.
Like, did y'all win the Seattle?
No, we didn't even. We placed like 17 out of 56 teams, which is cool, but we weren't getting the bouts.
Right.
We weren't getting. It wasn't nobody at our shows, and oh man, and this is the shit that rubbed me the wrong way about Slam. As soon as we got there, you know, we had to do our thing. So, you know, we kind of loud. You know, we're Africans. So we're in here very tribal. And everybody looking around like, oh my God. You know, we feeling like Sidney Poitier in this bitch.
So you feel like it was already a strike against y'all for you just being you. In a world that don't even respect. That's one of the things about...
Here's the thing. You couldn't be yourself. My bad, y'all. This is quarantine beard. You know, and mustache. Look like a fugitive. Y'all didn't know I was Mexican until my beard. Dirty Sanchez. You know? But when we got there, they had the, you know, all of the what do you call it? All of the fanfare. Mm-hmm. So, you know, everybody's coming. You know, we about to have like all kind of bouts. They call it not bouts, but displays. So the chick is in a wheelchair. No, she's on these crutches. So, you know, he was like, oh shit, you know, she on the crutches about to do this shit. So, you know, I'm like, you know, all for it, you know. And she goes, and this nigger hit me. I said, what the fuck? She on crutches. And she said this nigga hit me. And I was like, that's why she was in the crutches. So I can understand you being mad.
Right, you don't gotta say nigga.
You ain't gotta introduce me to your poetry by using nigga.
Right.
And you white.
Well, did they clap?
Nah. I was like, yo, you gonna have to get this bitch up out here. Like, for real, for real.
I'm not saying that you clapped. Was the audience, since it was predominantly white?
Well, they felt bad. You know, it's like, you know, damn it, Susie, you're drinking too much. You know, it was one of them.
You're letting our secrets out.
Like, you know, they look like, oh, they're gonna think I condone it. You know, I understand you got friends that say wild shit. You know, I ain't saying that they comfortable around you. I ain't saying you to be the damn race police. You know what I'm saying? We can't be racist. We can be prejudiced. We can't be racist.
Most definitely. She
was being racist because she just said that shit. And you know we're in the room. So we already, so we put like Homer Simpson backing up into the hedges and shit. Like, I feel uncomfortable because, like, you invite me to your home and this is how you treat me. Okay, gloves off now. So then it was like, and I ain't want to talk this way to nobody, but we had to go over here to, you know what Mother was doing?
The Cafe 992?
You know what Mother was doing? Who was it? Mother, Kids.
Oh, you talking about
Sunday school?
Yeah.
So you know what Sunday school was at? Across the street from there. It's a cap and gown spot.
Okay.
But that was my dude's loft. It was a white dude that used to come around there. This is how I knew my poetry had to do. It was doing something else, and everybody's. He would walk down the street. I won't say his name because he blew a blunt with us and shit. So, but yeah, no, I can say it. But he was cool as hell. So he was walking down the street one day and he heard us in this 227 Mitchell Street. Now he's a white dude with white hair. You remember George Seifert that used to be a coach for the 49ers? Got the white hair. He's a white man with white hair, not silver, white. You know, he looks like, you know,
like Santa Claus down there.
Yeah.
Not that long though.
But it's combed over. But it's couture. Couture Santa. It's couture Claus. So he in here. He would walk down the street and he would see us. And when he see us, he was like, man. He said, man, you know something, Abyss? I know a lot of people that would love to hear that, man. Man, what are you guys doing? So we did like. He said, I want to host something at my house. This is kind of like what pushed us over the top. We did a whole bunch of fundraisers and shit. But that was one of the fundraisers. They called it the Tiger Woods. We did a slam. And we was like, yo, we going to be the Tiger Woods. Who's going to be the Tiger Woods of poetry? So, because this was bringing his golf buddies in. Right. So we getting them with the Tiger Woods shit. They done spent $35 for a ticket. He done paid every slam artist in here. And he got wine and cheese. So upon getting the wine and cheese, his tenant over here, this is my homeboy. we homeboys now. When I met him, we just met at the party.
Right.
And ever since then, man, when I said my ace, man, this dude is a cheese connoisseur around the world. And he up in Baltimore now. He got 3 residencies. He lives in New York. He lives in Chinatown, Baltimore, and Chicago. And he's a cheese, critic.
Oh, okay.
He's a cheese critic.
I never met nobody to do that.
Here's the thing, just like how me and you talking, Malcolm Gladwell, The Tipping Point. That's another good book. But he gave me The Tipping Point. But he also gave me the opportunity to be on the board member at the Atlanta Community Food Bank. And I served on there for 7 years.
Right.
And being there, I was the only black dude in the room. And I'm looking like, damn, there's more black people out here hungry. I wonder why, we don't come and be represented on these boards. And then you hear people that aren't hungry making decisions on how to feed hungry people sometimes. Shout out to Bill Bowling, because he was a good dude. Him and Janice, she passed away, but I got all this for poetry. Like, I was a board member at the Atlanta Community Food Bank. I threw a cookout at my house. They bought the helicopters to break it up. 1,500 people on your lawn.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
On 420. It wasn't for that. If we'd have known, we probably would have celebrated even bigger. Probably been 3,000 people there.
Yeah.
No, but on real rap, it was a real big, how can I say, it was a real big eye-opening thing that I realized this poetry is really the vehicle. It's going to put me in rooms with great people. Like, you know, I performed for 2 presidents, you know, Jimmy Carter and Bill Clinton. I would love to perform for Barack, you know what I'm saying? If I had to perform for any president. I performed at the Carter Center a bunch of times. And now, and the thing about it is, before it was never like that. And you know something, when people say, hey, you must be kind of good. I was like, why? Because you don't bring yourself, you get invited. I was like, well, I'm thankful to be amongst the invited. Right. There's very few to get invited.
Most definitely.
So now when I come around, I make sure that I bring the same standard of what they fell in love with me with. So when I come around there, I do the Black History program with the students. And they don't come in, they come in there, they get an education. Hey, look at Malcolm, look at Martin, and there's Shirley Chisholm. You know, no, we ain't doing that. We come in there, we talking about financial. We talking about how you make money. Like it's real. Like we got Georgia Me on there. I had Teresa the Songbird. I had some. I'll let you check it out before you leave. But I'm working on how I can get that condensed down to where people can actually see that. Because once you see that, you'll realize, like, dang, like poetry has really just opened up my whole lifestyle. And I realized that's when I say I'm cheating on poetry, because I was a better husband to poetry than I was to corporate America.
Most definitely.
Corporate America made me that animal in the street. I just put a suit on, and I was refusing to do that.
I don't think corporate America did that. I think, for my personal opinion, this is my opinion from me listening to what you've been talking to me about. You've been a monster out the gate. Yeah. 5 years old, seeing people get shot in the face. 9 years old, selling candy for your people, making sure they still good. Like, you've been seeing your mother sew plates and stuff like that. Seeing your father in the Navy and doing all, like, it just been in you the whole time. And
what we don't realize is, like, sometimes, like, if you want a blessed man, sometimes he's not going to be there at the house a lot. It's just the way the world's set up.
This is true.
That's just the way it is.
This is true.
So we got these things, and we'll put other people's opinions in your household.
Right.
Fuck shit up.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with you.
Right.
But the thing about it is, we go through what we go through so we can get to what's yours. Ain't no other way from it. So when I sit around here, like, oh, you don't have your mask on. Okay. I used to work in the medical field, and I ain't saying I got coronavirus. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But what I'm saying is I don't have no fear.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't saying I'm stupid. I ain't just up in somebody's damn face. This ain't been my normal practice anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different when you are extrovert, introvert. You got to be out, but you really don't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Most definitely.
And so I'd rather be in the house. I don't mind chilling with people, but some people make it weird to chill with them. Like, I think, and as a poet, starting to get recognized, and I started seeing that first, it was cool. Like, oh, you know me from, wow, like, damn, okay, cool. So then, after you done got used to it, because the whole time, my homie is like, nah, you're going to get used to this. Like, you've been on TV. So now, that shit done been going on TV. It's been not in the, now, this little girl seen me the other day. I did a residency at a middle school. She said, hey, you're a dude from YouTube. And I was like, from YouTube? Yeah, I don't. She pulled me up. She got one of my old videos from somebody did at 800 East. You know how, like, somebody that follow you, they don't even have it.
Right.
She got that video, and I'm looking like, oh. I said, how long you been looking at that video? She said, I watch this almost every day.
That's dope.
This is a 7th grader.
That's dope.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
so
dope.
To still be relevant to a 7th grader, I'm 50 now. So that's all I'm saying is right timeless, man.
Right.
Don't be the smartest one in the room. Learn.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up that young girl because explain to the audience what your name stands for.
A bright young soul searching or seeking, because I didn't even name myself. My barber named me, and at the time that was before the braids. I had a bald head. I had a fade. He used to fade me up. And Carl was like, yo, you know what you need to name? He's from Trinity. You know what you need to name yourself? I was like, what? I think your word is deep, right? Right? See, you be reason. So I was like, yeah. So he was like, I think you should call yourself Abyss. And I was like, Abyss? So you know me, the whole life, my physical build has changed and everything. So nicknames didn't stick. So you was Butterball when you was younger. Then you go up and then you be like, you squirt, like you short. Like I was like 4'8", 85 pounds when I graduated. So your nicknames really didn't stick with you. So then Abyss. So now I'll be like, damn, I got this tattoo. My man Barry Richards did it for me at my job. So that's mind, body, and soul. And this is me underwater with an afro.
That's dope.
Right?
That's dope.
I didn't have an afro at the time. So when I came by my manager or agent at the time, he was like, well, shit, I guess you got to make it now. You got the damn tattoo. First, you got to grow your hair. Next thing you know, boom, had the afro. So he's looking like, damn. Okay. So the whole time, you know, shout out to G-Day Taribe, Mad Funny Entertainment. Bruh, God put us together for a reason. And trust me, I got that Nigerian hustle from him. You feel me?
Most definitely.
And so he had a grind in a small room with a fax machine, watching him get it. Shout out to Earthquake, Bruce, all them. Like, y'all remember YeahThisMilk from the morning show. I used to drive to comedy shows with Wanda. I was the third dude in the coupe. Get in how you fit in. Mm-hmm. I remember being on Joyce to Tell Cruise, the fourth dude in the whole room, and went on there and sold 60 CDs after being on there with $50 in my pocket, bro. Seeing sign people chasing you around because they're trying to get $250 on your card. You ain't got $250 to live on, but the food free. So you finagle the bagel. You got to have humble beginnings, and you can't be so far up. Like some days you up, some days you down. You feast and you famine. Just know when, you know, you pace yourself and you doing these things, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And so, like, all of that, man, like, it's, trust me, bro, like, I done been there, done that. I went to, I remember my son opened up for Outkast when they did the ATL last joint. That shit broke my heart. I couldn't be on the stage.
How was that?
That shit was crazy.
How was that? That was at the,
at Centennial Park.
Yeah, I went to it.
Okay, so they were playing with Rory. So Rory opened up the Friday concert, and then they had the Saturday concert too. Yeah. Oh. I was down in Waycross, hosting 15,000 people in Waycross. So 15,000 people is like 150 people in this little room. So 15,000 people in Waycross. We got all of downtown blocked off. We in here with the mayor. I'm down here with who's it? Jonathan Slocum, the comedian. We hosting. I'm co-hosting with him. Jay Fly, How Big Is Your Dream? So Jay Fly's from Waycross. Mm-hmm. We had Karen Briggs from the Hidden Beach. She used to play she's a virtuoso, the violinist. If you ain't never heard her, please. Well, if you heard of any of the Hidden Beach, she's the violinist on there. But I would urge you to go check her out for yourself. Because when you say virtuoso, that is, you'll know the difference once you hear her play.
Oh, you say it's official, I believe.
Got like a whistle.
Because you're official, so you say it is what it is.
I'm down there with Bobby Brown, Sherelle, you know, hosting this. So while my son I'm doing.
Can I say something? Can I say something before my mind forget? 2 or 3 times throughout this interview, you change your voice. You ever think about using that on stage? Mm-hmm. Because you know how to do accents really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's you use what you got to get what you need.
You when you did the Jamaican voice, and when
I do believe you have to do that. It is no question that you have to do that. Yeah. So, but the thing about it is, I think if you put character on your words, because now you have to be creative. Mm-hmm. So the whole time, if you're consuming, you can't produce. So I chose to produce more than I consumed. I consumed a lot of shit. That's why I was like, oh, withdraw. Why? Because you got to get in here. You got to boil it down like an alchemy. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, my thing is, like, I think, like, just, you know, just being out here in the poetry game, my thing is, it's not so much about the open mics as what we put it to make it. Like if that's where we put all the concentration, just like I said, it wasn't just slam. My thing is, learn your craft. You got to go to some people that have experiences. You're going to be able to do shit that people pre-COVID can't do post-COVID. And that's probably be all up under people. Like we was doing some shit, dog. I don't think you understand. I had 1,500 niggas at the house. All walks of life. Black, white, indifferent, gay, straight. It didn't matter.
Right.
Long, fucked up, the cul-de-sac, fucked up. They looking at me like, who is this? And they looking at me like Malcolm X. Like, yo, what kind of poems do you read? Like, you can't do this shit. So what you know as deaf poetry that was on Broadway, they was performing that shit in my living room. Poetry. I think Lemon didn't make it. But Georgia Me was here. It was a couple more people.
How did it feel when you got your? How did you get the call that you was on it?
I got the call from Walter Moodoo. And Moodoo called me, this was right before 9/11, so it probably had been right after my birthday. Mm-hmm. So this was